sunrise and streaming on crossroadstoday.com. With boil water notices on the mind, one Crossroads city is sharing how they maintain their water. And the latest as the East Coast braces for surges as the first Atlantic hurricane of the season continues its path. Plus, the Epstein files are on the move, who the Justice Department is handing them to.
And yes, I know it's been hot out there, but we have a change coming our way today and for the rest of this week, with rain chances increasing and also tropical activity starting to brew. We'll have all that in the weather coming up.
And Victoria East High School hosts their annual Unleash the Beast pep rally. We'll highlight this event later on in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning, Crossroads, and happy Tuesday. I'm sure we're not looking too forward to the heat, but we're going to miss it when the winter comes, so we'll soak it up.
That's right. We're looking forward to some rain actually coming our way for the rest of this week. Yes, it has been quite hot out there over the last several days. You're looking out on your screen. The max reported temps around the Crossroads area yesterday, you could see lots of 100s around the area. Actually, you see that 101 reported in Victoria. That was actually outside the city limits. Inside city limits, it was 102 to 103 reported on multiple gauges. So how about that for a hot day? And if you thought that was a hot, it was 104 in Gonzales and 105 to 106 along the Rio Grande. Now, I think that's safe to say. I think it's safe to say that's a little bit hot, and I think it's safe to say y'all are looking for a change. That is coming right here. If you look on satellite, you see all this moisture and cloud build up over the Beaumont area. That is actually some thunderstorms, and that is all coming our way later today. Before that gets here, it's already plenty warm and humid out there, and we actually got a nice pretty sunrise. Look at that with a little bit of cloud cover. Starting out the day warm and humid like we usually do, 75 degrees, dew point 2 degrees off, so no fog this morning. So if you're sending your kiddos out the door, it's going to be just like it is right now off the school, warm and humid. But as they're headed back home, we might have some thunderstorms to talk about. We'll have those details next.
Police in Victoria are looking into a hit and run. The driver smashed into a fence near Palmetto and Mimosa Street Saturday night, scattering debris, and then took off. Investigators say they have located the vehicle involved, but no arrests have been made so far. The investigation is ongoing. With boil water notices in Victoria bringing water quality into the spotlight, Port Lavaca Public Works Director Wayne Schaffer talks about how he maintains the city's water quality, checking chlorine levels throughout the city every day. Port Lavaca uses a third party to treat the water, and after treatment, Schaffer makes sure it meets safety standards and isn't being wasted. There are 33 sites around Port Lavaca that he tests daily to keep the water supply safe for everyone.
As a licensed operator in the state of Texas, it's of utmost importance to me. People depend on us to provide them with drinking water. But when you have to boil it, it's an inconvenience, and there's a level of safety that the residents and the end consumer don't feel.
Schaefer says he's able to keep the chlorine level steady by monitoring the residuals pressure and tries to keep it over 0.5 milliliters. Schaefer says he keeps a closer eye on the residual numbers during the hotter temperatures. Lavaca County is under a new burn ban. The county judge signed the order Monday afternoon after the drought index reached dangerous levels. The ban prohibits fires and outdoor burning unless in an approved enclosed barrel or container with a cover or spark arrestor. Aerial fireworks are also off limits. Violators could face a fine up to $500, 60 days in jail, or both. The ban is set to last 90 days, but officials say it could be lifted or extended based on conditions. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky arrived at the White House Monday to meet with President Trump and discuss a path for ending the war with Russia. The leaders of Britain, Germany, France, Italy, Finland, the European Union, and NATO were also in Washington in solidarity with Ukraine, and also to push for stronger security guarantees in any post-war settlement. Monday's showing is a sign of both progress and possible distress coming out of Friday's summit between Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin. Also on Monday, President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin spoke on the phone. During the call, Putin thanked Trump for his hospitality during their meeting and spoke about the progress the two had made regarding Ukraine. Trump updated Putin on his meeting with Zelensky, which had taken place earlier in the day. The two are in favor of direct talks between Russia and Ukraine. Hurricane Erin will remain offshore, but it's so big, tropical storm watches are now up for coastal North Carolina into southern Virginia. Here's ABC's Rhiannon Alley.
This morning, evacuations are underway in North Carolina's Outer Banks as Hurricane Erin makes its way towards the East Coast.
The amount of water coming could be unprecedented.
Coastal areas bracing for dangerous storm surge up to 4 feet.
Here in Rodanthe, officials are urging everyone to evacuate. The main highway could flood or get washed out entirely, and they're also worried about these homes that are not protected by a dune and could get pummeled by the surf.
Most people here are taking it pretty seriously, more so from the standpoint of just not wanting to be stranded, not being able to drive to medical care and that sort of thing.
John Betzker says some of his neighbors plan to ride out the storm, but he is heeding the warnings.
I've been told by other people that the surf is quite a bit higher already, and it's expected to double.
Waves are forecast to reach 10 to 15 feet and even 20 feet in some areas. Life-threatening rip currents are expected from Florida to Maine. Lifeguards in Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina, racing into the water, making more than 60 rescues yesterday. Swimming there now banned through Friday. The storm also impacting cruise ships. Major cruise lines now rerouting ships to avoid Erin's path. Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
And that leads us to your viewer poll. You can scan the QR code on your screen to take part. We want to know, in the event of a hurricane, what would you do? 53% of you say you're going to ride out the storm, and 47% of you say you're going to evacuate. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part in our viewer poll. The Justice Department is set to turn over records related to Jeffrey Epstein this week. House Oversight Committee Chair James Comer says his panel should start receiving documents Friday. This comes after the committee subpoenaed the DOJ and set an August 19th deadline for the records. The panel also subpoenaed 10 witnesses to testify on the case. Former Attorney General Bill Barr testified that Epstein died by suicide and there was no foul play. Remember, follow us on YouTube, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click that notification bell. The time now, let's get a look at our clock. It is 6:38 on our Tuesday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up next on 25 News Now Sunrise. We turn west and take in a historic cathedral. It's all part of an update from one of our most beloved news anchors.
A major push for peace in Ukraine. I'm Nicole D'Antonio in Washington with details on President Zelensky's visit to the White House and where things stand this morning.
And also coming up next after the break in the short-term forecast, you heard me say we have rain back in the forecast for today and also later this week. So coming up next, I'll tell you just when I think all of this mess will be here. Well, good morning, Crossroads, and happy Tuesday. It's the second day of the week, and it's still a little bit hot out there today, highs in the mid-90s, but I hope you're all ready for a change because we've been talking about it all week and all last week. Rain is on the way today with chances increased actually to 60%. Timing all that out on your future tracker. You're going to see in the morning time we'll be mostly sunny. This is 9 a.m. right here. We'll have a few passing clouds, but we'll still be mostly sunny. But by noontime and for the rest of the afternoon, we'll be between partly cloudy and mostly cloudy. And also sometime after 2 p.m., I'm going to go ahead and say this, between 2 p.m. and 6, maybe 7 p.m., 2 to 6 or 7 p.m., that's going to be our best bet to see our 60% chance of some scattered showers and thunderstorms moving out of our northeastern counties and southwest through the region. You can see here 3 p.m., 4 p.m., 5 p.m., and 6 p.m. And like I said, sometimes 6 or 7 p.m. the rain activity will start cutting off and we'll be looking mostly clear for overnight tonight. And actually we'll stay mostly clear all the way through tomorrow afternoon. So make sure you got your sunglasses packed for tomorrow. Here's 3 p.m. tomorrow, Wednesday afternoon, looking mostly sunny out there for all of us. But sometime after 3 or 4 p.m., you just saw it right there, we're going to pick up our rain chances to about 30% for Wednesday, as we're expecting that front. There's a cool front that's coming out of North Texas. We'll look at that here later. It's going to stall, but you can see maybe a few showers for late tomorrow afternoon and evening. But if you see any heavier showers or any heavier thunderstorms over the next 48 hours, you might pick up a quick 2 to 3 inches of rain. That's going to be this red color right here. So turn around and don't drown if you see any kind of light flooded roadways. Otherwise, severe weather, don't have to worry about that. That's going to be in Oklahoma for today, and the flooding risk is going to be up in Oklahoma today, but start shifting south for the rest of this week with a cool front. And like I said, we're going to look at that and the tropics coming up next.
Happy Tuesday morning here, Crossroads. And yesterday, Victoria East High School kicked off their athletic calendar year with a bang, highlighting their Unleash the Beast pep rally. And this highlighted the football team, cheerleading squad, also highlighted the powerlifting and all the other sports events they took center stage. And again, for this, it just brought the entire athletic community together before the year starts with the football team going on. And event organizer Jonathan Sixto shares with us here at 25 News Now what this year's Unleash the Beast rally is so special and why the gatherings like this are important for the school spirit.
And this one's unique in that it's open to parents in the community, and we invite all community members to come to the school, meet our athletes, our performing artists, and just kick off the year right. This is one of the first times they get to see all of their friends back from the first week of school, and the parents also get to see their kids in their jerseys and come out and be celebrated in front of the whole town. So it's good to see everyone come together and support the kids.
Love that again, get all the excitement, everything else going into the sports season, because the football team, they kick off their year against Georgetown next Friday night at Memorial Stadium. They're on August 29th, and the volleyball team will play later tonight. Their versus Edna will be at Victoria East, and will start at 6 p.m. This is Max Williams, 25 News Now Sports.
Experience our digital streaming service on Crossroads today. Plus, you can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV. Just search for Crossroads today. Plus, this morning, the president pushing for a face-to-face meeting between Zelensky and Putin. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio is in Washington with details on possible next steps.
This morning, a major push for peace in Ukraine, nearly 3.5 years after Russia invaded. Ukrainian President Zelensky returning to the White House to meet with President Trump and European leaders to discuss ways to bring an end to the war.
And the security in Ukraine depends on the United States and on you and on those leaders who are with us in our hearts.
The meeting striking a very different tone from Zelensky's February visit that ended in a shouting match. Trump and European leaders discussing security guarantees that could protect Ukraine against further Russian attacks. The president pledging American support.
When it comes to security, there's going to be a lot of help. It's going to be good. They are first line of defense because they're there. They're Europe. But we're going to help them out also. We'll be involved.
But it's unclear what those security guarantees may entail. The meeting comes days after President Trump's high-stakes summit with Vladimir Putin in Alaska, which ended without a ceasefire agreement. Heading into that meeting, Trump called it a must.
I want to see a ceasefire rapidly.
But Putin said no, and Trump backed down.
Trump goes there promising fire and hell for Russia if it did not actually go along. And make tangible concessions. Russia does not make tangible concessions. Nothing happens.
As the fighting continues, Trump is now pushing for another in-person meeting, this time with Zelensky and Putin at the table. But many are raising questions about Putin's true intentions.
This whole negotiation process could be a ploy. It could be simply a stalling effort by the Russians to continue the fight, looking like they actually want to an agreement when they do not.
It comes as Russia steps up its attacks over the weekend on major Ukrainian cities, killing at least 10 people and wounding dozens more. President Trump posted on social media that he called President Putin after his meeting with Zelensky to arrange a meeting between the country's two leaders. No word yet on when or where that meeting would take place. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
Now we go west to where 25 News Now evening anchor Don Brubaker and his holiday vacations group are exploring and seeing miles and miles of natural beauty.
Howdy folks, we are in the state capital city of Montana. This is Helena, and boy, we're having a great time. Let's tell you about and show you about what we did today. First off, we went to the Cathedral of St. Helena. It took 16 years to build. It was finished in 1924. The stained glass windows came from Munich, Germany. The cathedral was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1980. And then we went to the state capitol building of Helena. We marveled at the Gothic-style cathedral, stunning towers and stained glass windows, which rival those in Europe. And part of our tour group, the Dudersings from Palacios. Royce, tell me about the most important thing that you have seen on this tour so far.
Well, the Cathedral Church this morning was very beautiful with a stained glass, a lot of history to it. And another thing was Glacier National Park. Really enjoyed that. And the smoke jumpers and buffalo jump area is very, very beautiful.
All right.
A lot of things to see here in Montana.
Thank you, Royce. And we are winding up our tour of Montana with Helena. Next stop, Yellowstone. I'm Don Brubaker, KAVU TV 25 News Now.
The time now, let's get a look at our clock. It is 6:47 on our Tuesday morning. Still to come on Sunrise, police now releasing surveillance video from a stabbing spree. Time to celebrate some birthdays. Happy birthday to Ronald. Happy birthday, Bear. Love from family and friends.
Oh, happy birthday, Ronald. And also happy birthday to Thomas. Happy big 5th birthday to Thomas from Gigi and Grandpa Felix. Have an awesome day.
And happy birthday to John Stamos. Actor John Stamos is 62 today.
Oh, I remember for him from Full House. Happy birthday, John. And to see your birthday wish live on 25 News Now Sunrise, you can come to crossroadstoday.com, click the drop-down menu, then click the Home tab, and then you'll see Submit Your Birthday Photo.
All right, the time is now 6:48 on our Tuesday morning. Happy birthday if you're celebrating one today, and happy birthday to Katie.
That's right, happy birthday, Katie, and happy birthday to you. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, good morning, Crossroads. I'm sure a lot of y'all saw this 7-day forecast a few moments ago, and you saw the rain chances being real nice to us this entire week at a nice 30 to 60%, and that's going to be daily all the way up until Saturday, I guess until Sunday, because Sunday the sun comes back out, and the same with it, the heat is back too. But another thing you probably heard me talking about a few moments ago is a cool front. Yes, you heard me correctly. There is a cool front, but don't get excited because you know what happens in the August time and the August month. Boom, right there. You just saw it. It's going to dissipate somewhere up in central or north Texas. However, we are going to pick up a very, very light northerly wind shift, as you can see right here by the time we get into tomorrow, Wednesday, and all the way through Thursday as well. So with that northerly wind shift, we might drop maybe 1 or 2 degrees in terms of temperature, and also thanks to the rain. And all the rain will be coming our way, which I'm sure y'all are all excited for, and that's coming from this right here. It's coming from this mid-level low pressure system that is going to be kind of meeting up with that cool front and reinforcing it so that it gets this far south. But once that gets down to about North Texas, that's going to stall and dissipate and start heading eastward, and the same with the cool front. But that's just okay because along the edge of any frontal boundary, there is lift for rain. But now as we go into the weekend into next week, here's Sunday. High pressure starts moving back overhead, and that's going to bring back the sun. And you saw right there at the end of that loop, there was a question mark. That means we need to look at the tropics. Right now, we're still tracking Hurricane Erin. That's not going to be a concern to us. It's going to go maybe about 100 or so miles off the east coast, as you can see right here. Tropical storm watch in effect for them. But for us, we're going to be watching these 2 tropical waves right here over the next 2 weeks because computers take them into the Caribbean. We'll have more on that next week and more later on Sunrise.
Now to the stabbing attack at a big box retailer in Michigan last month. ABC's Lionel Moyes has the latest.
This morning, surveillance video just released showing the moment a man goes on a stabbing spree at a Michigan Walmart last month. Shoppers scrambling to get out of his way. Watch as the suspect wearing a green backpack sneaks up on his first victim, the woman dressed in black. He seems to push her to the ground and then appears to start going after another customer. The suspect's next target, the man dressed in blue. The suspect identified as 42-year-old Bradford James Gilley. Then he appears to jab at another man wearing a jacket who is seen going airborne. Moments later, he is seen running into the pharmacy before appearing to stab another customer in the frozen food section. He is later seen running to the parking lot, attacking this woman from behind. Later, cell phone video shows a crowd corralling the suspect until police arrived.
I didn't think of anything other than trying to get him away from people and get him isolated and get him to put the knife down.
The 11 stabbing victims survived. Gilly has pleaded not guilty to assault and terrorism charges. His family says he has a history of mental health issues.
We have been trying for 28 years to get him into a placement. We're honestly not surprised by any of this.
Lionel Moyes, ABC News, New York.
Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. A conservative cable channel settling in court over previous coverage. Newsmax has settled a defamation lawsuit for $67 million. The right-wing cable channel agreed to pay Dominion Voting Systems $27 million this month and another $40 million in the next 2 years. There's no indication Newsmax will offer a public apology or acknowledge its false claims that Dominion rigged the 2020 presidential election. Earlier this year, a judge ruled Newsmax aired defamatory statements about Dominion. The measles outbreak that erupted in West Texas is over. State health officials say no new cases have been reported in the counties that previously showed transmission in more than 42 days. Calling the outbreak over suggests 2 incubation periods have passed without transmission. Since late January, officials confirmed at least 762 measles cases in the state. 2 children died, the first measles fatalities in the U.S. in a decade. TxDOT is hosting 2 public hearings this week on the upcoming I-69 and US 77 projects. The first one starts at 4:30 p.m. Wednesday at the Refugio County Expo Center, and the second one starts at the same time, but instead on Thursday inside the Woodsboro School cafeteria. Both will begin there, and also there will be a virtual option on the TxDOT website that will remain for at least 15 days online. And as students head back to class across the region, we're celebrating. We want to see those back to school, those first day photos. Entries are open until 6 p.m. Friday. And we want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV. Just search for Crossroads Today Plus. And now let's get a look at our forecast with Parker. How's it looking, Parker?
Well, we got a not too bad of a sunrise this morning. We do have a little bit more cloud cover than what I was thinking out there right about now. You can see we're sitting at about partly cloudy, but it's kind of obscuring our pretty sunrise this time. You can see a little bit of the pink shades in the background, but 74 is what we're starting at for our air temperature this morning in Victoria. Only a degree away from our dew point, bringing us a high 97% humidity. Only this time, I don't need y'all to worry about fog because we've got a little bit of mixing happening in our atmosphere right about now. And that's thanks to a few factors. First of all, we have a little bit of rain that just started forming. We're talking about 20 minutes ago on radar. You can see where that is. It's in our eastern counties right about now, and all of it is very light. We're talking maybe a light rain, maybe even some sprinkles happening right now. And it looks like southern parts of Jackson County, also central and eastern parts of Wharton County as well. But if you have any of that coming your way, go ahead and grab the umbrella. But I'm going to go ahead and say everybody grab your umbrella because all of this right here north of the Houston area will be coming our way for later today. Timing it out, like I said, sometime between 2 to 6 or 7 p.m. That's going to be our 60% chance to see some scattered showers and thunderstorms. High of 95 in Port Lavaca, same thing in Victoria. And the timing for the rain, only a little bit warmer in Cuero. I'm thinking 96 today, but don't get used to these nicer, cooler mid-90s because we're right back to the heat tomorrow with a 30% chance for rain and the nicer chances for rain for the rest of the week.
All right, thank you, Parker, and thank y'all for joining us. We joined Shana, Don, McClovia, and Max today for 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10.